There are crazy times ahead for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. Once Bitcoin ETFs, that is, spot Bitcoin ETFs, are issued or approved in the US. Do you guys agree with that? Let me know in the comment section. Anyway, guys, it's FD once again for Sage5.tv, bringing you another update on Bitcoin ETFs in the States and what I think most reviewers and most influencers are missing. Some of them are just talking nonsense. But in this video, I'm going to try and outline to you what it means, what it could mean, and where this ecosystem is about to go. And guys, it's huge, not just for Bitcoin, but more so for the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Yeah, I mean altcoin. It's about to get crazy. Keep watching. So the information I'm going to share with you guys in this video is just not financial advice. If you require financial advice, please approach someone who's trying to give you financial advice. Now, we've all heard about the pending Bitcoin ETF applications in the US, and everyone in their granny are speculating on what to come next, with majority of the reviews being offered delivering little more than pure ignorance and lacking in substance. These views range from the crypto market will do what it has always done, for example, buy the rumor, sell the news. You think so? To things like this will be non-event, really? And to things like the crypto market will take time to react to ETF. Now, do you think everyone on the sidelines will wait until the likes of BlackRock, Wisdom Tree, and so forth, Grayscale and so forth, and ARK Invest, they all go in and then they will go after? No. As soon as they see certain things falling into place, some are actually front running that. That's my thoughts anyway. It's not financial advice. While all these are potential outcomes, what becomes apparent from the outset is they all smell of the same uninformed opinions from the same useless individuals, I believe, who believe by the very fact that they've experienced the crypto market for 2 minutes, 10 years, all of a sudden they become experts in everything financial and anything crypto. Now, yes, there could be a slow reaction to how the crypto markets react once the first ETFs are approved. It is important to note that there is a Bitcoin spot ETF issued elsewhere. In Europe, in Canada, they've got Bitcoin ETF, but that's a discussion for another day. For today, let's just focus on what about to happen to the crypto space based on what's about to happen in the States. It will have to be rejected or issued. I think it will be issued in the end. I think it will be sooner than at the time around the Bitcoin halving next year around March, April. Anyway, so where I think things could go crazy first and foremost for Bitcoin, but even more crazy for altcoins, is something I would like to cover in this video. Let's dive in. Exchange traded funds or ETF. These are popular investment instruments for those seeking diversification and exposure without actually holding the Bitcoin. Everyone interested should by now know what a Bitcoin spot ETF is, being on the news on YouTube, all over the place. Please follow the links in the description to previous videos on this subject that we published a short while ago. ETFs are a type of investment fund that typically track the performance of a specific index, commodity, sector, or asset class, and offers investors the opportunity to gain exposure to a diverse portfolio of assets through a single investment vehicle. They trade on stock exchanges much like individual stocks. Now, us in cryptos, we call ourselves the natives, right? We are used to trading these things on exclusive crypto exchanges. With Bitcoin ETFs and any ETF that will follow thereafter, they are going to be traded on stock exchanges also. And there are so many of them, okay? There are so many of them. So things will go crazy, okay? Some investors who want to invest in Bitcoin will choose to purchase a Bitcoin ETF rather than purchase Bitcoin to hold because of the convenience and liquidity. Why? There's so much liquidity in ETFs. Why? Because there are so many regulations in holding certain assets, and it's less convenient to actually hold some of these assets than just to hold, they call them paper assets, but someone is going to buy that Bitcoin and store it somewhere because spot Bitcoin ETF, they are bagged one-to-one, and any crypto asset for that matter. So the interesting products will not just be spot Bitcoin ETF in my opinion. Interesting products will come out of a basket of financial instruments created around the spot Bitcoin ETF itself. And here are some examples. Not conclusive, and I'm not claiming to be an expert in this area. I know just enough. There is what's called a leveraged Bitcoin ETF based on the spot Bitcoin ETF. This is a risky type of Bitcoin ETF that uses financial derivatives and borrowed funds to increase exposure to Bitcoin. Yes, currently there is leveraged Bitcoin and altcoin trading on some exchanges, but this is about to see an explosion from trading professionals from the legacy financial markets. Those that have been hesitating to enter the markets due to regulatory uncertainty. These leveraged spot Bitcoin ETFs will aim to deliver amplified returns both in up and down market relative to the underlying Bitcoin price on an industrial scale. This is all about access. While many will be skeptical about the entrance of traditional players into the crypto space, this could also play a major part in overall crypto adoption, not just Bitcoin like many would like you to believe. On the downside, as is always argued by those who are skeptical about the benefits of a Bitcoin spot ETF, these ETFs are primarily used for short-term investing strategies rather than long-term investing. Daily rebalancing and compounding effects of leverage make these ETFs more suitable for capturing short-term price movement in the underlying Bitcoin index. So if you a holder, think twice about what this will mean. Again, not financial advice. Now, this is something to take into consideration for those so-called diamond hands. Your faith in Bitcoin is about to be shaken to the core. Let's see how much of a diamond hands you are, shall we? Take as an example similar gold ETFs in the States. You got gold ETFs that can be found in commodities as well as in equities. So you got companies that mine the gold, there are ETFs around that, and then the actual commodity, which is gold. Okay, and then gold, there are also ETFs around a basket of special commodity or special metal. The largest gold ETF, for example, in the States is SPDR Gold Trust GLD with 54.11 billion in assets under management. It's just one ETF. Now, let's take into account the current pending US spot Bitcoin ETFs awaiting review and hopefully approval in the near future. You got BlackRock with approximately 9 trillion of assets under management. Again, here I'm not suggesting that BlackRock will just spread their 9 trillion into Bitcoin. No, I'm not suggesting. I'm just saying they've got 9 trillion of assets under management. They practice good risk management, which means a portion of that will go into their Bitcoin ETF based on uptake, of course, if they have a lot of people asking. So with BlackRock, this 9 trillion, some of their clients will not like Bitcoin exposure. So if you were thinking 9 trillion is about to get into the Bitcoin ETF, think again. Some will not ask to be exposed to Bitcoin, others will. But what I'm looking forward to is not the existing 9 trillion, it's the other 9 trillion that BlackRock could potentially attract into their Bitcoin ETF product. That is one thing to watch, because there's so much money out there, and some of the money will be leaving other ETFs and other investments just to get into the new shiny thing, which will be Bitcoin. Again, not financial advice. Next, you got Wisdom Tree. We have already launched one spot Bitcoin ETF for the Swiss market. We have Invesco and Galaxy Digital with their joint application. We got Valkyrie Investments, got ARK Invest led by Cathy Wood, who has joined forces with Swiss-based ETF provider 21 Shares AG to offer the ARK 21 Shares Bitcoin ETF. ARK already have Bitcoin exposure through their investments into crypto exchange Coinbase. I think she offloaded their shares from what I understand. I don't know if she bought more or was it Tesla, one of those. They also have invested into the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and payments processor Square. But then again, with the way Cathy works, maybe she's left some of these positions. I'm not sure she holds positions in all those three entities. We also have Van Eck Bitcoin Trust on the CBOE exchange. Fidelity with its latest application naming Coinbase once more as their custodial partner. Then you got Bitwise with their follow-up applications in August of 2023, which is this year. This following a rejection to a previous application which was rejected way back during the last bull run in 2021. And you got fund manager Global X, who like Bitwise, refiled in August 2023 following a rejection after filing for one Bitcoin ETF in 2021. Now you see the trend, it didn't just start when BlackRock entered. Mind you, these are just some of the leading spot Bitcoin ETF applicants, and the rush from all these players is an indication of just how the next bull run is going to be if most of us expect majority of these spot Bitcoin ETFs are going to be approved for the next Bitcoin halving. Again, I think they will approve all of them at once because they don't want to upset certain players lest they get taken to court once again and lose, because they will certainly lose. They're developing a pattern. The likes of Van Eck and BlackRock and the seasoned financial powers in Goldman Sachs all have had experience in gold ETFs, and their interest in Bitcoin ETFs is by no means a flirting exercise. These entities and organizations mean business and will certainly help maturing this nascent industry. By that I mean the crypto space. Now, also consider that these new players to the crypto space have huge resources and are likely to want to benefit from both price swings to the upside as well as to the downside. We could see a tranche of invest leverage Bitcoin ETFs. So once they issue them, they can create variance to the Bitcoin ETF, just tweaking a few things. So Bitcoin invest ETFs are designed to profit from a decline in the price of Bitcoin. Invest leverage Bitcoin ETFs will likely come with significant risk, because we know from leverage trading at the moment. They will use derivatives and short selling techniques, introducing additional complexity understood only by the savvy of traders, and most of you retail folks are going to be toast. You're playing with the big boys. It's no longer our space, it's just a market. One of the most important points to note for both Bitcoin ETF skeptics and dogmatists is that whether you like it or not, these new players to the space, particularly to Bitcoin, will hold huge sway when it comes to the Bitcoin price. They are going to manipulate it to the end of the planet, end of the earth. And once they have a hold onto that, then it's time to grab your popcorn and see what they have in store for you in terms of the different spot Bitcoin ETF product they come up with. So we are focusing on Bitcoin ETFs, but it's the products that they are going to create around the Bitcoin ETF itself going to be mind-blowing. All of a sudden, the picture that was so clear and inevitable to most Bitcoin purists out there takes a different hue or shade. When that happens, how are you going to respond? My take to all this, again, not financial advice, most crypto traders, or shall we say Bitcoin Bitcoin and altcoin traders, or pretenders for that matter, are about to part with their money, who comes to mind? The pros that are about to enter will eat you for breakfast and spit you out by lunchtime, only to return for more for their dinner. Now get ready. For most of these savvy operators, the spot Bitcoin ETF is a distraction. The real game will be played in the altcoin space. Again, just my opinion, but hear me out. They come for Bitcoin and they get the rest of the crypto space. So buckle up, it's about to get crazy. We could all see a flight of liquidity from other ETF products to first Bitcoin and then the rest of the crypto space, especially with what I think will happen if the Ethereum spot ETF is approved at some point in the future. That could send this place to the stratosphere, and specifically for Ethereum, that 45k we highlighted in one of our predictions video might no longer be a joke or a laughing matter. In that video, we made a statement that the figures will point to that, but we don't think it was going to happen. The likelihood was that Ethereum will probably split with the 20k mark. But what I think will happen once the spot Ethereum ETF is approved, that could become a reality overnight. But or could it? Let's wait and see. Now, as for you, with all this drama playing out in front of us, what do you think will likely happen once the first spot Bitcoin ETF is approved by the US? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Until the next video, I'm FD for Sage5.tv. Thank you for joining us today. Until the next one, bye for now.